a biblical location where Moses parted the Red Sea to allow the Israelites to flee. The Egyptian army has believed to have been uncovered crossing into Saudi Arabia. Doubting Thomas Research Foundation scholars have pointed to a narrow part of the Red Sea called to the Gulf of Aqaba as the location of the miracle from the book of Exodus. Moses is said to have led the Israelites as they fled from their slavery at the hands of the Egyptian pharaoh, according to the Christian Bible. Exodus sees the convoy fleeing from the pharaoh's army after the 10 plagues ravaged the kingdom. Finding themselves trapped between the soldiers and the sea, Moses then calls on God to part the waters, allowing them safe passage. Waves then come crashing over the Egyptians who try to follow, smashing their chariots and plunging the army to the bottom of the Red Sea. Researchers fronted by security analyst Ryan Morrow detailing their findings in the documentary Finding the Mountain of Moses, the real Mount Sinai in Saudi Arabia. And it comes after scientists believe radiocarbon dating may have proved the Red Sea parted for Moses. Related articles: here they would be trapped with the mountains on both sides, the Red Sea in front of them and Pharaoh's army right behind him. Ryan Morrow and the team's findings come as they claimed the peak Jabal al-Las in the Middle Eastern kingdom is actually Mount Sinai. Findings suggest the Israelites made the crossing from the beach of Nuweiba into modern Saudi Arabia. The crossing would just be 8 miles wide, easily walkable for the fleeing Israelites. The site appears to match up with the scholars' theory about Mount Sinai, which is just 75 miles from where they would have made landfall after crossing the Red Sea. Historians and scientists remain unconvinced the biblical tale of the Exodus ever happened, and despite whether the Israelites were ever slaves in Egypt. Red Sea, Nuweiba Beach on the Gulf of Aqaba is believed to be Moses' crossing from Egypt. Pic. Doubtingthomas. Doubting Thomas Research Foundation experts cite research by Dr. Glenn Fritz into the crossing at Nuweiba. The geography of the 5-mile-wide beach, flanked on both sides by mountains, appears to match the tale in the Bible. It would have enough space for the around 3 million Israelites who are said to have fled Egypt. Research also revealed the Nuweiba land bridge, which appears to be a natural formation at a depth of around 33 meters that would allow the Israelites to walk across. And most interestingly, scholars suggest unusual coral formations appear to resemble chariots which would have sunk when the Red Sea crashed over Pharaoh. Miracle. Bible scholars claim this is where Moses parted the Red Sea. Pic. Doubtingthomas. Related articles: ruins. Bible scholars claim the remains of chariots can be seen in the coral. Pic. Doubtingthomas. In the documentary, Morrow said claims the researchers attempted to dive the site but were turned away by Saudi police. He said, here they would be trapped with the mountains on both sides, the Red Sea in front of them and Pharaoh's army right behind him. Amazingly, there is path under the water from Egypt into Saudi Arabia. It is not too steep and the Israelites could have easily walked across if the waters were parted. Nuweiba is described as an exact match for the Red Sea crossing in the documentary, but mainstream historians remain unconvinced in the story of Moses. Bible, Moses and God part the Red Sea to escape from the army of Pharaoh. Pic. Getty. Doubting Thomas Research Foundation claim the location of the Red Sea crossing all feeds into the route of the Exodus to Mount Sinai. After escaping Pharaoh and Egypt, the Israelites then wander until they are led to the peak surrounded by fire, smoke and thunder. Moses then ascends Mount Sinai where he convenes with God to receive the 10 Commandments. Bible scholars believe evidence around Jabal al-Las suggests it was once the camp for the Israelites, with cave paintings of cows feeding into the tail of the golden calf. It is feared the site will be destroyed as it in the footprint of the proposed Saudi megacity Neom, which will be 33 times bigger than New York. Evidence. Bible scholars claimed Saudi police stopped them further probing the site. Pic. Doubtingthomas. Historians, archaeologists and Egyptologists have the consensus that the Exodus event did not happen as described in the Bible. There has never been any proof that the Israelites were enslaved in ancient Egypt, and it is questioned if the figure of Moses ever existed. Scientists have also questioned the plausibility that the Red Sea cover ever part, even at a narrow point in the Gulf of Aqaba. Some suggestions have been offered, such as a freak tidal event, or giving the location of the parting as in the Nile Delta. It also suggested Red Sea could actually be a mistranslation of Reed Sea, instead referring to a lake where the Israelites could shelter but Pharaoh's chariots ended up bogging down. Related articles.